got a chance to work with Joe, and he wanted to present Joe or say congratulations, because with the compress changing hands many years ago, never really got a chance to thank Joe for probably 30 plus years of service to Memphis Compress, which is a big part of Memphis, Texas, and lasting effects. And so Laddel, his wife, came in here for the anniversary today, which is kind of part of it, but especially to congratulate Joe on this retirement, which is only 8 years. And I just happen to have a little gift for Joe right here. I wanted to give this to you. And I'm going to present this to you, but if Laddel wanted to say something, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Laddel. I'll give this to you.
Stop talking so that I can talk. Well, I do get emotional. So I'm going to try not to. Joe Cavelli Torres. Who knows what Cavelli means? Anybody?
Isabel.
Isabel? Isabel? Okay.
Didn't they name a fishing deal like that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, Joe always told me he was a Puerto Rican. Have you been to Puerto Rico? Have you ever been to Puerto Rico?
I can't be an Indian now.
I first met Joe in December of 1979 when Sandra and I moved to Memphis to work at the compress. And I worked with Joe for 27 years until we sold out. Even though I was the owner's son-in-law, Joe sort of took me under his wing and gave me a hard time and cuss at me every now and then. I can remember some of those days. But he taught me how to list the cotton. We had to write every bell number. We had to write it down on a paper. This is before computers. He taught me how to drive a forklift. He even tried to teach me how to cut a sample. And the 1979 crop was big. We received over 200,000 bales of cotton, and over half of those bales were out on the cotton yard. Well, Joe Torres, I think if you'll come to look at this picture, he probably cut nearly every one of those bales on that cotton yard. And we kept a few things from the compress, so I'm going to give Joe a knife and a rock. And so I don't know what you're going to cut with it, but you're probably not going to cut any more bales, and we'll get a picture here in a minute. But do you remember that? Do you remember how?
Why did you put tape on it?
Because I didn't want to cut my finger.
Right there?
That's from that.
Yeah, that's
So
that's
what was
holding it like that.
So if you were to teach someone how to cut a sample, what was the most important thing about cutting a cotton sample?
Sharpening it, just keeping it sharp. Plus, when it's got dirt on it, on that jute bagging,
Just like this.
yeah, it won't cut but 2 bales at a time.
Yeah.
But when you had that yellow bagging, you could cut 125 bales if you sharpen your knife good and you just keep going backwards. And we cut about 2,000 bales a day.
So they'd get 2 guys, one on each side of the bale, would go down a long row. Sometimes these rows were a quarter mile long. And Joe sort of turned it into a little bit of a competition. He was always competitive, so he wanted to make sure he was the best and the fastest. And he did a great job.
Let me ask you, is that callus from rubbing on the bands?
No, it's from keeping your knife right there when you hold it.
Oh, right there?
And then you just go like this. And
You have to
that's
put a
where
lot of
that
pressure
callus
on
is
it.
Right there.
Okay.
And but Joe Torres is definitely the best cotton sample cutter that's ever existed in Memphis for sure. Every summer, Joe also would help lead the Memphis Compress crew when we weren't busy at the compress. We'd work at Allen Fieldhouse, we'd work at the press box, we helped with the tennis courts. Joe remembers many a time moving the picnic tables down for the Hall County picnic and around to the rodeos. We moved bleachers. At the ag barn, we helped build the ag barn. We donated the land out there, and Joe was right in the middle of helping all that stuff get started. He helped us with countless number of spook houses, even one in your ice house, Joe. And we had a spook house up here on the stage. Joe Torres was part of all of that, helping us with that. And if you look closely at the baseball fields, I think it was somewhere in the mid-'80s, maybe, that they were built.
87, 88.
And Joe and the compress crew helped do most of the concrete work and the fence work. And I think your name, you stenciled his name still out there. So, Joe, that's one thing that I'm proud of, is that long after you and I are gone, those fields are still going to be here. And you were part of it, for sure. He even helped us build bonfires. I can remember we had a bonfire once at the high school parking lot, the football stadium parking lot. He built it so big, it nearly melted the weight room. Remember, they had to come and hold it down. I think the next year they moved it to the baseball field so that we wouldn't burn the same drum. But Joe enjoyed helping his community. He's loyal and honest and dependable, except when taking money from the boss and Domino's. He always wanted Domino's. I don't know how he always beat me, but he always beat me. Joe is an example of hard work. And whenever Thomas Clayton retired as foreman, I knew the perfect man for the job was Cabelli, Joe Torres. He always had some type of work going on to help ends meet or pay for kids' baseball gloves or whatever was going on. Whether it was roofing, mowing, home repairs, building RV sheds, Joe could do just about anything. And he taught his sons about hard work. And these boys could attest that. At a young age, I can remember Joe having y'all out there, y'all were holding cotton.
Yes, sir.
And how easy was that, Junior?
Oh, it's the easiest thing in the world. Made my 24 years in the Marine Corps the easiest.
Well, you know, sometimes as parents, we try to avoid having our kids do hard work. Well, Joe was sort of the opposite. He taught these boys what hard work was. And I'm sure that his grandkids are gonna learn that same legacy. So Joe, we thank you for that hard work. Joe did what it took to survive. He didn't sit around and moan and complain about what was going on. He found a way to make it happen. And Junior Torres, of course, he was a vital part of that state championship football team in 1991. I was there. I was ringing my bell. Also, he's honored to be a retired Marine. And so we definitely thank you for your service. Whenever I saw Joe, he kept getting his ponytail. It kept getting longer and longer. I said, Joe, when are you going to cut that ugly thing? He said, when my boy gets out. And he finally did.
Yep, we cut it across the street. We cut it across the street on a retirement date,
right.
December 31st, December 10th, 2016. Cut it off.
Well, thank you very much for your service. Your dad was so proud of you. He really was. And Marcelino, I know he works in hospital management in San Angelo and his beautiful family. And Marcelino was probably one of the smartest kids ever to come out of Memphis. And we love you guys. We're so proud that you're here. And just for you grandkids, I want you to know that your granddad also was part of the 1982 championship Memphis men's softball team. Memphis Conference. And so that was a big thing because Jazz always won it, but the Memphis Conference, we did pull it out one year in 1982. I was 22. I think Joe was already 45.
I know I too.
And
Third base, rolled 3 times, got up, just was flying everywhere, and told my wife, that's it, baby. I was hurt.
if I could get Joe and Hortensia to come up just a second. On behalf of Allen and Harrison family, we want to give you a $500 gift card to the lumberyard because Hortensia's got 5 years of work for you at the house. And I've got $500 cash that we're going to give to Hortensia because she doesn't spend as much at the casino. we love you guys and we want you to know that we're proud of you.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad that you're a friend, glad that you've worked with all these great people and you've made Memphis better. And one last thing, ring this bell for your boys.
My
For the
friend.
Cyclones for many years, I'm going to ring it for Joe.
Oh, while you're up, I might as well give you this other retirement deal. Golly.
Did he leave outside?
Well, I don't have freedom of speech, but I played a lot of softball with Joe back in the day, and sure enjoyed it, and sure been always a great family, and appreciate Joe's service, and of course, wife Hortensia couldn't have done it without her, right? Right,
Oh,
Joe?
sure, yeah.
And this is just 8 years. But anyway, a fun 8 years, right, Joe?
Yes, sir.
And we have some retirement money coming your way too.
I know that, right?
Got a little cash, we gave him a little cash right here.
We sure just want to say happy retirement, but we don't want to see it.
I don't know. She told me this morning, whatever you do, don't get up early, you retire. Get up at 6. What did I tell you? Well, thank you, guys. I enjoyed working with every one of you.
Let's go. Short and sweet.
Hey, we have a cake